welcome to the 57th installment of Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro, about to tell him?
What you about to tell him, Alejandro?
I'm about to tell you about the surprising Atlanta Hawks versus the Indiana Pacers. Will the Charlotte Bobcats become the Bobcats and defeat the Miami Heat? Will the Toronto Raptors general manager regret his words versus the Brooklyn Nets? And can the Chicago Bulls bang bang versus the Washington Wizards? All that plus more in my NBA Eastern Conference playoff predictions.
Tell him, Alejandro!
Next matchup, the number 3 seed Toronto Raptors versus the number 6 seed Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn. Now, the regular season for the Toronto Raptors went very well, might I add. Wow, I'm very impressed by the regular season by the Toronto Raptors. Their rank offensively was 9th. Their rank defensively was 10th. They're the only Eastern Conference team to rank top 10 in both offense and defense. Shout out to the Toronto Raptors. They were balling all season. They won almost 50 games. That's very impressive. The Brooklyn Nets, their rank offensively was 14th. Their rank defensively was 19th. Their record for the whole season, 44 wins and 38 losses. Now, the Raptors, during the regular season, they traded one of their top players, Rudy Gay. Now, when they traded this player, a lot of people said, oh, well, they're giving up for the rest of the season. Actually, no. They traded him because he's getting paid a lot of money. They feel like, you know what? He's not a star. I bet when I said that name, a lot of y'all didn't even know who Rudy Gay was. That's the point. He's not a star. He's not a type of player that's going to change the team that drastically. He's a good player. He's not a great player. He's not excellent. He's not a star. He's not a Mr. Alejandro. So with that said, I think they did the right move in trading him. Since trading Rudy Gay, the Toronto Raptors, this was back in December, the Toronto Raptors have went 41 wins and 22 losses. So you know what? The Raptors did a good job in trading Rudy Gay. Shout out to the Raptors. Now, the regular season for the Brooklyn Nets, it started off pretty bad. But then, 2014 came. Since January, the Brooklyn Nets have went 34 wins, 17 losses. They finished with the second highest winning percentage in the Eastern Conference with a .667 winning percentage. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. The new year, they needed the new year. And you know what? Since then, they have represented. Now, this clash between the Brooklyn Nets and the Toronto Raptors is a pretty significant clash. Now, the coach for the Toronto Raptors, Dwane Casey, he has relations with the coach for the Brooklyn Nets, Jason Kidd. When I say relations, I don't mean that nastiness. I mean actual relations on the court. Dwane Casey was an assistant coach to the 2011 Dallas Mavericks team. That team had a player named Jason Kidd on it, the current coach for the Brooklyn Nets. That 2011 team defeated the Miami Heat and won the NBA championship. That Miami team with LeBron and Wade and Bosh, I was happy when that happened, by the way, just saying. Anyway, Dwane Casey was an assistant coach on that team and Kidd was a player on that team. So now they're both coaches going against one another. So they know each other like the back of their hand. This is going to be a very interesting series. Going into the series, I picked the Brooklyn Nets to win this series in 6 or 7 games. But then something happened. The general manager for the Toronto Raptors, I don't know how to pronounce his name perfectly, Masai Ujiri, decided to open his mouth and say something that just really upset me. As a native New Yorker, mind you, I'm born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And I got family out there, so I definitely, on the low, root for the Toronto Raptors and all Toronto teams. The Toronto Raptors general manager said something that was extremely reckless. He said, F Brooklyn. Really? Take a look. I'm a native New Yorker. Here on TEA, we are not letting that slide. Let me tell you something. Going into the series, I thought Brooklyn would win in either 6 or 7 games because the Toronto Raptors are a very respectable team. Shout out to them. But you know what? After hearing this loser say that, I hope the Brooklyn Nets sweep the Toronto Raptors. That really upset me. Jason Kidd played him. He said he doesn't even know who the general manager is. Paul Pierce said that was the wrong thing to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that general manager sucks. I'm saying I hope the Toronto Raptors get swept straight up. Anyway, game 1 was played. The Brooklyn Nets won the game, and towards the end of the game, 3 minutes remaining, Paul Pierce scored 9 points, and he was mic'd up so you can hear what he was saying. All Paul Pierce kept saying was, "That's why they brought me here. That's why they brought me here." And I was agreeing. If you don't know what he's talking about, basically, before the season, he was with the Boston Celtics. That's a different team. During the offseason, over the summer, the Brooklyn Nets traded for Paul Pierce because he's a Hall of Famer. He's a veteran, he has experience, and he's proven in clutch moments to come through. And he came through for the Brooklyn Nets. Shout out to P-Dub, Paul Pierce. I like him very much. Now, throughout the series, I do expect the Toronto Raptors to compete. They're a very good team. I also expect them to get more rebounds than the Brooklyn Nets. Here's why. Paul Pierce, who's fat and slow and sluggish and not athletic at all, basically, he's going to be playing power forward for the Brooklyn Nets at some point throughout the series. You understand? And the Brooklyn Nets are going to be playing small ball. With that being said, they're going to have a tiny small forward playing power forward. And Jonas Valanciunas is going to be able to take advantage of the Brooklyn Nets playing small ball. In April, Jonas Valanciunas, who is the center for the Toronto Raptors, he averaged 18 points and 11.7 rebounds in April alone. Jonas Valanciunas, he puts in work. Shout out to him. I'm not even going to sleep on him. I like him a lot. He bangs down low in the paint. And by the way, shout out to Deron Williams. Deron Williams is supposed to be the star player for the Brooklyn Nets. Now, when I say supposed to be, I have a problem with him. Here's why. Deron Williams gets paid $98 million. That is a lot of money. That's almost $100 million. All right? Now, Deron Williams all season has not played according to his contract. He didn't play good. He started playing above average, decent, started playing good towards the late in the season. Now, in this game, game 1, he played very good. 38 minutes, he scored 24 points. Here's why this is significant. Because, in my opinion, Deron Williams is the best player in this series. Now, the Toronto Raptors have a very good player in the name of Kyle Lowry, and he plays the same position as Deron Williams. I feel like that's significant because D-Will has to compete against Kyle Lowry. And I feel like D-Will hasn't played good all season. D-Will, like I said before, gets paid $98 million. That's a lot of money. And when you think about top teams, you think about their star player. For example, if I say Miami Heat, who's the first player that comes to mind? LeBron James. If I say New York Knicks, the first player that comes to mind, Carmelo Anthony. You understand? If I say Brooklyn Nets, the first player that comes to mind is not Deron Williams, and that's a problem. It's either Paul Pierce or Kevin Garnett. That's a problem. I want Deron Williams to take control of this series. I want him to show Kyle Lowry who's boss. I want him to show Kyle Lowry he's the man. I want him to show the world that he's the man. And also, not only that, the whole entire state of New York City is looking at the Brooklyn Nets and Deron Williams. It's time, D-Will. It's time to show up. It's time to take this city by storm. The New York Knicks are not in the playoffs. Everyone in New York is looking at the Brooklyn Nets. D-Will, show up. Earn your $98 million. Now, I believe that the Brooklyn Nets are going to win this series. Like I said before, I hope that they sweep Toronto. I understand that Drake is in attendance, rooting for y'all. But once your GM said what he said, I'm rooting against y'all. I'm rooting for the Brooklyn Nets to get either a 6-game win, or more importantly, get a sweep. The Toronto Raptors GM picked a fight with the wrong team. Lastly, the Wizards are surprisingly making the Bulls see red. I cover the matchup in the next part of my Eastern Conference first round predictions in the Tell 'em Zone.